The Trump administration is feeling positive about an upcoming Supreme Court ruling on DACA after Tuesday's oral arguments. One America's Emerald Robinson sits down with acting Citizenship and Immigration Services Director Ken Cuccinelli, who was in the courtroom, to learn more.
It seemed that the Supreme Court was favorable to President Trump's position on this DACA issue.
Yeah, I would agree.
In saying that, do you see them preserving the Obama-era DACA rule?
I don't see that coming out of this hearing. And one of the challenges for the plaintiffs was that they were pushed into admitting, including by Justice Breyer, that in fact the Trump administration does have the legal authority to get rid of the DACA program. So then the question became, well, then why shouldn't we let them do it? Not that the court would do it. Why should we send this back to an agency for something you say they can do anyway when they already have demonstrated reasons to be rid of the program, other than just pure legal reasons? For instance, I believe it was illegal, as President Obama believed it was illegal when he implemented it, but there are other good policy reasons to be rid of the DACA program as well. And so they had a real problem in that regard.
It's interesting because you think, and this is often the argument I hear, if one president can institute it, can the other not, under his administration, undo it?
Very, very difficult position to be in for the other side. And remember what they're doing. DACA is to not enforce the law. It was a whole program to explicitly not enforce the Immigration Naturalization Act. So undoing it puts the Department of Homeland Security back in the position of enforcing the laws that Congress told it to enforce. So even the act of undoing it by President Trump's administration has more legal foundation than the act of implementing DACA in the first place.
Okay, let's say that the opinion comes back and it's that the Trump administration can do what it wanted, undo the DACA provision instituted by the Obama administration. Where do we go from there? How fast is it?
Then what, right?
Yes.
Well, one of the arguments made in court today that augured in favor of letting the administration be in charge of this, as opposed to having courts take it over, is we can wind it down. It doesn't have to be a sudden bang and it's over. But of course, we've been enjoined now by courts and so forth, and the administration has somewhat lost control of that until this case is over. So there were good reasons for the administration to keep control of the wind down itself. But if we reach that point, remember the people in DACA are here illegally. That's what we're talking about. It's the deferred action the action being deferred is removal or deportation. Doesn't mean they'll be removed or deported, but they're protected from it. Now, pick your number about how many millions of people are here illegally. If we win the case, they're essentially put in the pool with all those other people in the same circumstances as all those others.
So now, that brings up another question. The president has said if the Supreme Court rules in his favor, then he'll have leverage to make a deal on immigration, a comprehensive deal, potentially with Democrats. As late as we are in his term, and given there's an election in 2020, even if the court rules in his favor, are Democrats going to be willing to make a deal before November 2020?
You know, I can't really speak to whether the timing would deter them, but the president has expressed a willingness to talk and engage in good faith discussions. The question really is, will those in Congress, particularly on the left, be willing to engage in those sorts of good faith discussions to achieve a goal that they were on the verge of a couple of years ago when that all fell apart? So I think we've demonstrated we can get at least very close to that point. To your question, I don't know whether the election year will interfere with actually achieving good policy or not. I hope not.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One American News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One American News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.